So, hello everyone, welcome to my new YouTube channel, The Wanderer. To be more honest, I have not made this channel to earn money, but this is just, out of fun that I am, making this channel. And this channel is especially for those people who are, finding a compact SUV in the mid-range segment. So let's begin with the video. So hello, my name is Vishal and I'm the proud owner of Nissan Magnite. Yeah, proud I would like to say because this car has got a very close connection to me. I mean, I would say 2 times this car has helped me, brought me out of danger. So just to share my experience along with Nissan Magnite. Okay, first I'll start with some good points, and then later on, at the end of the video, I'd like to highlight some improvement points, or you can say the negative points about the car. Okay, so I took the delivery of this car at 22nd July 2021. So I had booked this car by the end of December 2020, but I got my delivery in month of July 2021. It has been around 3 months since I've using this car, and I've driven around 2600 kilometers. Initially, whatever driving I've learned on this car itself. So at initially I used to get mileage of around 9 km per liter. Since I was very new and I was using only first and second gear, so the mileage was around 9 km per liter. But later on, maybe around 15-20 days, I learned how to drive, and post that the mileage has improved, and now the overall mileage it is showing as around 13.1 km per liter. So I'll come back how that mileage increased. So as I told that I have driven total 2600 kilometers. Out of this 1000 kilometers I have driven during driving sessions only, and the rest 1500 kilometer I have driven from Mumbai to Gujarat. So post driving, I thought that I should have a long drive, and I went for Mumbai to Gujarat. So that is basically Mumbai to Saranpur. The distance is around 1250 kilometers. I have covered this distance, but however, considering the inner cities and driving in the interior of the city, so that took around 1500 kilometers of drive in 2 days. So overall I would say I have a very much good experience along with Nissan Magnite. I began my journey on Friday, during the Diwali. So at morning 9 a.m. I started my journey. From there I went to Ankleshwar, and I had a halt of around 1 hour over there, and post that I started for Saranpur. So in that particular day I covered around 650 kilometers odd. So overall experience I would say with Nissan Magnite was very good. Now if you visit Gujarat, you will find that there are 4-lane highways, and the highway condition is very good. If you leave apart the last patch, that is of around 75 to 100 kilometers, rest patch was very good. It was highway to highway, and the mileage that I got during the highway driving was around 16.5 kilometer per liter. This average I have calculated on tank to tank basis. It is not the average which is being shown on the digital speedometer. It was basically calculated when I filled my tank, and then once I reached Gujarat, I filled the tank later on over there itself. So that average that I calculated was around 16.5 km per liter, and which I found it's very good considering my driving. So Yeah, just to come back to the topic again. So 16.5 kilometer average I got with this car, and which I find is very good at considering a 1 liter engine. Then the other part being, during that particular drive, I have driven this car at a speed of around 120 to 125 kilometer per hour, and I find the car was very much stable at that particular speed. Beyond that, I did not push my car, and at 125 kilometer per hour, I mean, the car did not have any vibrations. The car was running very smooth, and it was basically, the steering feedback was also very good, and the car was really planted on the road. I did not find any issue at cruising at that particular speed. Beyond that, I did not stretch my car. I mean, once you drive, you will understand that, considering the condition of the Indian roads, I mean, 125 kilometer per hour speed is very good at that particular condition of the road. I mean, considering the road curvature and all. Beyond speed of around 130 kilometer, I think 130 kilometer per hour, I think its driving is a bit of risky, and there are many potholes also which comes in between, so, or the speed breakers which comes in between, and controlling the car at that particular speed is very difficult then, and it might create a problem also. So yes, I mean, I had many other cars running beside me. I mean, there was Maruti Vitara, Brezza, then Venue also. I mean, what I found is that even though that cars were of 1.2 liter engine, I mean, that did not make that much of a big difference. I mean, we were almost cruising at the same speed. So what I feel is that some people say that Nissan Magna engine is very small. I mean, 1.0 liter non-turbo engine, it doesn't make any sense. I completely disagree with that point. I mean, the car is very good, considering the 1 liter engine also. I mean, the car performance is very good. You can easily cruise at around 125 to 130 kilometer per hour without any much particular vibrations being felt inside the cabin. So yeah, later on, I would also like to highlight some points which I faced during driving of this car. I mean, which helped me a lot. One is that, while driving the car, at one point, I was just my map went off, so I had asked my wife to just turn on the map, and she was not able to turn on the map. I mean, she was not finding that much easy. So I went and I just looked at the screen, and I was just figuring out how exactly the map went off. And all of a sudden, while I was driving at around 80 to 90 kilometer per hour, suddenly there was a curvature in the road. I mean, there was a sharp turn, and I did not notice it. I mean, I was looking at the screen, and there was my friend who was sitting behind me, and he told me at all of a sudden that, "Arey, just look in the front. I mean, there is a turn which has come." So immediately I did not panic. I mean, I did not all of a sudden brake the car and stopped it. What in turn I did was, I just made a right turn at a stretch, and then again left, and the car really was very much planted on the road. I mean, I got off from that situation very easily. But believe me, if at that particular point I would have tried to brake the car, there were chances that car could have rolled upside down. But during that particular situation, I kept my calm, and I just steered it off, and the car was very much planted on the road, and thanks to Nissan, I mean, for making such a good car. this was one of the experience. And second experience, I mean, what I faced was, while you are on that Mumbai Gujarat road, there are this mad people also. I mean, they don't know how to drive. So there was traffic ahead, and what this guy did was, he stopped at once, and then he took off at around 40 to 60 kilometer speed, and then all of a sudden he just applied brakes. And I was also at a speed of around 50, and since I saw that car, and I had to also apply the brakes, I applied the brakes, and the situation was like, ki now I'm going to dash in that car. So but to be honest, I mean, just with, you can say, a 10 to 15 millimeters of gap, I mean, the car stopped, and that accident was avoided. Then again, I thanked my car, I mean, for such a pulling me out of such a bad situation. So that was the thing I especially wanted to highlight. Apart from that, I mean, the car performance, if you ask me, it is very good. I liked it. There are few negative points, I can say improvement points, which Nissan needs to make. I would start highlighting it one by one. First thing is that the steering control. I mean, once you turn off your car and then again turn it on, the steering does not return to its original position. I mean, you have to calibrate the steering, then only the steering comes back to its original position. So this is a big drawback considering the safety point of view. Secondly, I had faced the issue of lock problem in the glow box. So basically, the lock stopped functioning, and I had to replace the lock. I mean, I went to the showroom and I got that particular lock replaced. But when I went to the showroom, they did not immediately change the lock. They said that the lock is not there in the stock, and they have ordered for it. And after 4 or 5 days, they called me and then replaced the lock. But however, they replaced it. Third thing is that I have installed one Lord Ganesha idol. I'll just show you that particular yeah, I hope you can see it. So I installed the idol of Lord Ganesha, and initially there was no sound which was coming when I was driving the car. But however, later on, once I started driving, the dashboard goes up and down. I mean, I don't know, there is a rattling in the dashboard. Because of that, that particular the top of the idol touches the glass. So that is one thing. I mean, the particular finishing, I could say, that could have been much better. Apart from that, another thing which I found was the grille of the car, that is very much wide, and it creates basically they have given it for cooling of the radiator. I mean, but what I found is, once you are driving at night, and especially in the areas where there are no street lights, there are chances of this dust and the flies getting stuck onto the fins of that radiator. So I will later on show you how exactly that flies and all have got stuck on the fins of the radiator. So that could have been avoided. I mean, they could have provided some protection out over there. And apart from that, what I really felt was the major drawback is the headlight. I mean, considering this XV non-turbo model, it's a second top model, and they could have given either HID or projected headlamps, but I think they have given this halogen headlights, and because of this there was a problem. I mean, I was driving at night for 4 to 5 hours. I was driving at night, and that particular point I felt that the visibility on the road is very much poor. I mean, there were I was driving on a single lane road, and there were cars coming from front of me, and with their HID and projected headlamps. I was hardly able to see the road. Even the halogen headlights did not make that much big difference. I mean, the road was hardly visible. What I could say. What I did was, there was a Ertiga, I mean car, which was running in front of me. So with the backlight, or you can say the stoplight of that particular car, I used to drive. When that car used to brake, I used to brake. When the car used to slow down, I used to slow down. So like this I had driven for around 4 to 5 hours, to be very much honest. 4 to 5 hours in the sense, from 7 to around 7 to 11. All right. So like that, that experience was, and apart from that, I did not find any major drawback in this car. I mean, the car is very much good. The performance is also very good. So this was the overall experience about the Nissan Magnite car. Stereo of the car is very much good. The animations, or you can say the speedometer, digital speedometer is very much good. The cooling is also very good. So overall, I'm satisfied with this car. Now coming on to the point, since Tata has already launched its Punch. So if you ask me, at the price point which Punch is being offered, and at the price point which Nissan Magnite second top model is being offered, I mean, I will consider Nissan Magnite as the value for money. I was actually awaiting for Tata Punch earlier, but then again, because of the delay in the launch, and I found I went ahead with the Nissan Magnite car. And in particular, if you ask me, now I think I made a right decision by going to Nissan Magnite, because I think Tata Punch is very much overpriced. The function which it offers, I mean, like multiple terrain mode or city eco mode, okay, I find that that particular functions not that much of useful in the real life scenario. Even if you are driving in a eco mode, your Tata Punch can give you a mileage of around 11 km per liter. The same mileage Nissan Magnite is also offering. So I did not find a difference in that. Second difference is there that it is very much good for the off-roading. I mean, there is a terrain mode which is available. But then again, how far you're going to drive your car in that particular terrain mode? I mean, yeah, basically it's an adventure car. I do agree with that point, but considering my drive in cities and on highways, how far I am going to go in village or that particular adventure. So you can say once in a year. So considering that point, I mean, I find that Nissan Magnite is much more worth, because you can do a little bit of off-roading with this car as well. So once in a year is okay. I mean, if you are a particular hardcore driver, I mean, you are going off-roading daily, then I think Tata Punch will make a sense. Otherwise, no. Also, the price point at which Tata Punch top model and second top model is being offered, I've been better people can choose Tata Nexon over it. Otherwise, if your budget is very much tight, then you can consider Nissan Magnite. I mean, this is a real value for money car. I mean, you get a lot of features in these cars, which in this particular segment hardly anyone is offering. And yes, in particular, one more thing I would like to highlight about the negative point, the wiper. Okay, I get a particular irritating noise from the wiper. I mean, I complained to the Nissan showroom as well, that there is a problem with the wiper, but they say that this particular problem is there with other cars as well, which I found the reason is very much invalid. I did not find any such thing in the other cars. The wiper makes irritating sound. I mean, I can just show you. You can hear this sound, I think. Okay, so this is how it is. And yes, apart from that, I mean, this car is very much good. You can consider this car. And aftermarket also, I have made certain changes in this car, which I would surely post in my second video. Till then, yeah, please like, subscribe my channel, and do comment how did you find this video, and what else you want me to cover. Please comment in that below comment section. Thank you.